He who hurries cannot walk with dignity. If you are patient in a moment of anger, you will escape 100 days of sorrow. The tongue is more to be feared than the sword. He who depends on himself will attain the greatest happiness. Learning is like rowing upstream. Not to advance is to drop back. There are many paths to the top of the mountain, but the view is always the same. A bird does not sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. You cannot prevent the birds of sorrow from flying over your head, but you can prevent them from building nests in your hair. Sow much, reap much, sow little, reap little. Each generation will reap what the former generation has sown. To understand your parents' love, you must raise children yourself. Your teacher can open the door, but you must enter by yourself. If you suspect a man, don't employ him. Be the first to the field and the last to the couch. A fall into a ditch makes you wiser. A crisis is an opportunity riding the dangerous wind. One cannot refuse to eat just because there is a chance of being choked. If you bow at all, bow low. Pleasure for 1 hour, a bottle of wine. Pleasure for 1 year, a marriage, but pleasure for a lifetime, a garden. If you don't want anyone to know, don't do it. A filthy mouth will not utter decent language. When you drink the water, remember the spring. When you are poor, neighbors close by will not come. Once you become rich, you'll be surprised by visits from alleged relatives afar. An overcrowded chicken farm produces fewer eggs. The palest ink is better than the best memory. You won't help shoots grow by pulling them up higher. Not the cry, but the flight of a wild duck leads the flock to fly and follow. Deal with the faults of others as gently as your own. A horse cannot gain weight if not fed with extra fodder during the night. A man cannot become wealthy without earnings apart from his regular salaries. When we get to the mountain, there will be a way through. A good fortune may forebode a bad luck, which may in turn disguise a good fortune. Whoever lay long in bed with disease will become wed. With time and patience, the mulberry leaf becomes a silk gown. Once bitten by a snake, he and she is scared all her life at the mere sight of a rope. Victory has 1,000 fathers, defeat is an orphan. Make happy those who are near, and those who are far will come. A book holds a house of gold. Great souls have wills. Feeble ones have only wishes. It is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. Keep a green tree in your heart, and perhaps a singing bird will come. One joy scatters 100 griefs. The wise adapt themselves to circumstances as water molds itself to the pitcher. Experience is a comb which nature gives to men when they are bald. Deep doubts, deep wisdom. Small doubts, little wisdom. If the wind comes from an empty cave, it's not without a reason. Wealth is but dung, useful only when spread. When you have only 2 pennies left in the world, buy a loaf of bread with one and a lily with the other. Think of your own faults the first part of the night when you are awake, and the faults of others the latter part of the night when you are asleep. The more laws, the more thieves and robbers. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the yellow bird behind.